Just gonna tell him now that it's gonna be solo, and then we will be good to go. Should be fun. Always wanted to do more solo casts, so no, I'm really excited to see what these two teams are gonna be playing against. I've placed against both these teams in the past, and I know of their strong suits. I know of what their play style is. I think the Dandelion Knights had like one major roster change, and the same thing with Guardian Gaming being their mid laner as well. And it's funny that in Freljord actually, they are all 1-1. So anything that happens in week 2 is going to be interesting to watch as well. But I'm going to transition us over into our picks and bans that are coming out right now. So in for the side of Guardian Gaming, we got the Wukong, Master Yi, and Jinx. This is definitely targeting towards Infinite Blades, Master Yi, and Wukong. He's such a strong champion. He plays those champions very, very well. And then the Dandelion Knights are going to be banning away Seraphine, Diana, and Shen. Those are all just kind of common, good bans. Don't really want to see it on the enemy team. And they're just overall just kind of putting a broad stroke on Guardian Gaming here. Blue side picked up Tristana. Will, in response to this, we have the Lee Sin and Caitlyn pick. Now, the Lee Sin's going to be a really interesting one, just because of how the new jungle changes have happened. It made his clearing potential into gank potential a lot easier, adding those additional 15 seconds, so you can't just do full clears. Like, you can't just pick a champion like Morgana and just out clear him, and then he just kind of is a sitting duck for the rest of the game. So with these new jungle changes, it should make Lee Sin a very top tier pick, especially if you know how to play him. It should be good to watch as well. And I've seen Infinite play it before, and it's been working. He's been doing a great job. He's a good player on Lee Sin. Viego and Vayne coming in. So now, I'm not sure, is that actually a Vayne? That is a Vayne. I didn't see any corrections coming out from anyone. And so that should be, let me see here. Yeah, that's a Vayne. So that could be Vayne top, Viego jungle, and then we have the Caitlyn Rakan coming in as well. Rakan is Thresh. You know, I thought that was going to be a correction on the Vayne, but no, they're full sending the Vayne. They know what they want. Now that's curious. Is because so Thresh is a Rakan ban, and they picked Thresh, and it's not Rakan, right? And Vi is also coming out as a ban as well, banning more of what appears to be, would that not be on Infinite Blades? That might be at least in top, and I might be fooling myself. Or they're like all big braining me, and like everyone's going anywhere that I don't imagine that they're going to. But Guardian Games is gonna also have to pick up some AP champions. So the Dandelion Knights banning away that Kennen is going to be a huge help as well. I guess if we want to put Tristana mid lane, Viego in the jungle, and then Vayne as an ADC, that should be fine. But you're going to need a lot of AP heavy champions from here on out, and you're running into this problem where there's not going to be a lot of tanky frontliners, so you're really hoping to win lane, win game in that situation. So let's see what they pick up here. So they pick up Sejuani. So that is going to be a Lee Sin top lane. Sejuani, definitely not a top laner. Definitely not any laner, actually. So putting her into the jungle, Lee Sin top. So they must have known. They did their research on the Guardian Gaming squad, did the research on Dandelion Knights and going, yeah, so this is not a jungle pick. This is actually a laning Lee Sin. So first time seeing this myself. I don't... Oh, Cho'Gath's actually getting picked there. So that's... I'm not... It is AP damage, but I'm not sure if it's the AP damage they need. Hopefully an Enchantress. So they do get a Lulu. So there's no execution potential happening from the Dandelion Knights. But Guardian Gaming having a squad and pulling it together in this instance where you have just a Cho'Gath in front of everything, and then the Lulu's gonna hopefully get the Vayne to 1v9 the whole situation. But personally, if it's for me, I like the side of Dandelion Knights. They have a pretty good. They have a bruiser top lane. They have a great um like pusher in the mid lane, and then into a roaming potential mid lane, which is going to be nice for the Malzahar. And they have the Sejuani jungle, which is going to have some really good gank potentials. And then obviously the Caitlyn and Thresh bot lane being really good in that their own aspect as well. But as for Guardian Gaming, it's so coin flippy. You know, like if it works, and it's awesome that it will work. But at the same time, you have drafted yourself into a comp where you don't really have a lot of AP damage, and you're kind of worried that if you fall too far behind and they start building a lot of tank, which obviously the Sejuani and Thresh are going to do, and kind of have that front line on you, it's going to be bad news bears for you, you know? So interesting to see what they're going to do. Interesting to see how they are going to pull it all off. I'm going to be hopefully interested. I'm kind of perplexed by it, to be fair. I don't really know how it's going to happen or how it's going to uh pan out myself. But if I were to imagine, team fights are going to go in favor of Dandelion Knights unless Cho'Gath has placed center really, really well. So it's going to have to be like a Herculean efforts by him. But we are going to have a slight delay here. I'm going to put us on to a quick intermission, and then when we come back, we will be going into the live match. So stay tuned. Okie dokie. So we are going into game one here. It's going to get everything set up for us as we load in. There we go. And because it's a solo, I won't have to sync up. So I can just kind of freely roam with this one. I don't expect to see much of an invade here. I mean, maybe on the side of Team Dandelion Knights, they might do something with the Lee Sin, with the Sejuani, but typically, I don't think too much will occur. Typical 5 points, but everyone on Team Dandelion Knights going in one together and the mid lane. So let's see if anyone notices this one. So yeah, Tristana sees this, is going to back up. Immediately ward as well. And, oh, she does get the hook, and that's going to be a dead Tristana if she extends a little bit too far, getting the Lee Sin, get the Ignite off. She gets the barrier from the heal. Sorry, the Lulu shield, and she does live off of that one. So what happened there? We got a lot of... I've got Triss Flash. We got Malzahar Ignite, and that's about it. So, Summoner for Summoner, honestly, I think that Team Dandelion Knights come out ahead in that. Just because they were able to get the flash off of a mid laner as well. So that's going to be super helpful. You're going to see Infinite Blades definitely ganking mid as soon as possible. And as for Viego, though, I think he's just going to be doing a full clear and hopefully ganking either mid or fighting for the top side scuttle as you see him pathing to the top side of this map, starting the red buff. And Sejuani, obviously, going to be matching that as well. Now, I thought it was going to be Malzahar in the mid lane, but it was actually Malzahar in the top lane. Mystic playing an AP champion should be fun to watch. I think he was mainly worried that he was going to be facing off against a potential ADC, either Tristana or Vayne, and so he's going to be opted out into not taking Lee Sin because that could be a horrible lane for him. So he takes the Malzahar top side, and then Yastariel taking the Lee Sin mid lane. And Lee Sin is going to be a good mid laner. He has good items that he can build, and if he does farm well into the Tristana, should be a interesting time for him. He's going to have a hard time facing against Tristana as a champion, though, as she is ranged and he is a melee. So it's hard. It's hard as Lee Sin. You're going to see a lot more roams, I think, than actual all-ins mid lane. And then if we just look at the match side, bot side here, it's going to be the Caitlyn Thresh versus the Vayne Lulu. So Vayne Lulu obviously going to be playing a little bit earlier in the safer side. Lulu going to be able to do some aggression, help the Vayne kind of carry into the mid to late game of this match. But the Caitlyn and Thresh are kind of just looking for a good Thresh hook in the early stages and then working off of that as well. Now, if I were Malzahar into a Cho'Gath, I think all you do is push back, get mana, push back. You aren't going to be getting those blue buffs, though, so he's going to be a lot of, in the early stages, at least mana deprived. And I'm not sure if he's going to have the poke potential or the rush potential to push into the Cho'Gath's tower. So, that being said, I don't know if Cho'Gath just does the freeze here. I imagine that you would. You don't really want this Malzahar to get any further ahead, and you don't want him pushing into your turret. But we do have a gank in the mid lane. We do get the Ignite off, but the Lee Sin's going to flash in respect, and that will be the end of that. So Viego actually getting the top side scuttle and is going to be looking at the bot side scuttle. So double crabbing Sejuani is going to be super nice for him. He does get the double crab, and he's actually going to be looking to do some deep wards. If he notices that the Grump is coming up soon, he might actually just take it. Now, something else about the jungle is that the timers, instead of popping up after every 15 seconds, they actually pop up every 10 seconds. So if you see one of those timers, it's 5-second difference that you actually might be able to do some counter engages. So Viego coming into the mid lane, going to be looking onto Tristana. Tristana actually getting down, and the first blood going over to the Lee Sin, which is going to be nice. And the Sejuanis are going to see if they can get him out, but we do get the engage coming in from the Viego, going to be able to get the Lee Sin and be able to get the Sejuani. as they also see an overextended bot lane, which is really unfortunate for them, and Dragon's coming up. So that's going to be a really nice win for Guardian Gaming. Very great first blood. And Cloud Soul's going to be really nice for them as well. Overall, only losing 1 for 3, you like to see that. You like to see those, you know? If you're on the side of the Dandelion Knights, you hate to see that. You don't want to have that to happen ever again. But because Viego was in the jungle, he was able to get there at a good time. They were able to make a play. And then the Vayne gets a condemn over onto the Thresh. He's going to see if they can get something else as well. And they take the Thresh. I'm not sure if this is necessary, Viego. It wasn't, and you died because of it. I like that you want to get your passive off, but I don't think it's worth taking 3 turret shots, especially in the early stages of the match. Now, as you notice, I'm going to be a little bit calm as a solo cast. It's going to be just a little bit of a slow into a more hypier later stages, because if I start screaming at the start of this match, I'm not going to have a voice for our second game. But Lee Sin, now let's talk about how the farm's going and being distributed. So we see something even happening in the top side, so no real gold discrepancy happening over there. Double crab and 4 kills going over to the side of Viego. Viego is going to be on top of Sejuani, about 1k gold difference. Now, there were backup mechanics, but that all is applied to everyone in the match. So if you are 2 levels lower than everyone in the match, then you get backup experience on epic monsters. I don't think that's the case because bot lane shares experience. So it's not going to be much of a mechanic that Sejuani is going to be able to use this match to help her out to get that gold discrepancy a little bit closer. In our mid lane, we do have about a 200 gold lead, but the CS difference is a marginal one. And it's one you typically see from a range into a melee bruiser. You know, it's hard to be Lee Sin. It's hard to get in to get some minions in, as the Tristana having that additional range is going to be able to poke you out. That being said, now we look bot lane. We're going to see actually a CS lead for the Caitlyn Thresh. And that is also to be expected because, well, it's not much you can really do about that one. And we actually see a bot lane gank. Here comes the Viego. He's going to be going onto the Thresh. The Polymorph going onto the Lulu, from the Lulu onto the Thresh. They're going to pick that one up. And Viego going to be stealing the Thresh's body, getting the hook off. Going to see if there's going to be a play coming out of that one. Sejuani is around the corner, so I don't think they'll try to go for something. But they might. Like, you never know. They might. They might do it. I don't think they will, and I don't think that they should. They got their kill, and they're happy with that. And a solo kill coming in from the Tristana onto the Lee Sin. Lee Sin just existing in lane, trying to farm, but because of the E-procs, he's just taking damage and damage and damage. And the Tristana taking that is going to be a huge lead for her. On top of that, obviously, she's going to be pushing in some turrets. I don't know how Lee Sin's going to be able to make a comeback in this situation. She's going to have to make a huge effort and has to have a Sejuani in his lane basically for the rest of this match. So, what do we got from this? All the gold's on Viego. Bot lane doing good, not dead, but got assists. You know? Mid lane doing good, CS good. Top lane going even. If I was Guardian Gaming, I would be smiling and knowing that you scale better than them and you are going to be able to use this leverage to get another dragon and push yourself later into this match. So, if I was the Dandelion Knights, what would I do? Well, you're going to need to get more objectives on this match. You're going to need to get control of your jungler again. And you're going to need to find pick after pick after pick, because if you don't, then it's going to be horrible for you going into the next stages of this match. But as I'm saying that, we see Guardian Gaming actually picking up that Rift Herald. And mid lane, we do see a play hopefully coming out, but unfortunately, Tristana is just going to walk away and not worry about a thing. So we're going to see a lane swap, actually. So Malzahar is going to have to face off against the Vayne Lulu, while Cho'Gath goes to face against the Caitlyn Thresh. I like this, mainly because, oh, nice pull, nice kick, nice hit. Flash from the Tristana. Is she going to be able to live from this? He is running very low, and Thresh Lantern going to be able to take that one out. But in the top lane, we are going to be using our Rift Herald, going to see how much damage we can do to this turret and what we can accomplish gold-wise. So, great pick. That's exactly what we need in the mid lane. You know, we need that Thresh to roam. We need to get those kills on Ystariel, and we need him have kill potential into assassination attempts if, say, a Viego, a Vayne, or a Tristana comes in to attack him. Now, that being said, Lulu is basically the whole reason why you can't do those things. You can't assassinate anyone on their team so as long as Lulu sits beside them. So what do? You got to take dragons, you got to get some more plays, and you got to make more picks. And so we get to see the Cho'Gath. He does go in. He gets the steal off as he goes in and then eats up that dragon. He's not going to be able to live from that, I don't believe, as Lee Sin comes around the corner, kicks him with his Q, and then Viego is going to be going on to the Thresh. Tristan actually picking up that kill. Viego is Thresh right now, so we could see a potential hook happening. Unfortunately, nothing will come of that. And if you are Guardian Gaming, you are happy. You rotated that Cho'Gath mid just for that purpose alone, and because you have that additional smite, well, not really a smite, the bite is going to be able to steal up that dragon and then get any additional kills that you can. His life was worth the noms, you know? You love to see it, and Guardian Gaming proving time and time again why they have this 2K gold lead, so it's going to be interesting to see how the Dandelion Knights are going to respond to what is happening here. No major objectives, so would you want to fight if you're the Dandelion Knights? Probably not. Unless you get a perfect pick, I don't think it's really worth your time and effort to try and make something come of it in a solo aspect. So you really just got to be waiting on Infinite Blades to make something happen for your lanes, to make something happen for your team. Shame that they lost the dragon, but obviously Sejuani only having a 900 smite and Cho'Gath just going to be able to outscale with his bite being over 1,000 damage. True. He did have to use flash for it, so maybe we might see a pick onto Cho'Gath if he's overextended, but hard to kill Cho'Gath. He's just a giant beast. He's just a giant lizard. You can't really stop it. Turret plates, though. Turret plates are going to be falling in about 2 minutes, so maybe we might be able to find a play bot side as we have 4 people rotated. Sejuani taking out a ward. Lee Sin is just waiting in the tri-bush here, and we get an all-in from the top laner as he goes to make a play, but I don't think it's going to be enough. He might be able to live there, but the Cho'Gath Eat is still going to be a menace. In the bot lane, we do see the tower dive coming in from the Caitlyn, Lee Sin, and the Thresh Sejuani. They do pick up both laners there, so really well executed and well distributed damage amongst them. But here comes Viego. I don't think he will be able to make a play as Caitlyn puts down those traps and is going to be moving swiftly in the night, but is immediately taken away from Viego. Viego coming in and being able to pick that one up, and we're going to see an all-in from the Viego, from the Tristana. They are going in for a 2v4. Here goes the Thresh. The Lee Sin actually going to have to flash away from that one, and Thresh is going to be able to grab up that Sejuani, and he will be turning into Viego very shortly, giving that kill over to Tristana, and another big win for Guardian Gaming. They are just capitalizing on any play that the team Dandelion Knights are making. It's so hard as you're being suffocated, but Team Dandelion Knights, you got to keep doing what you're doing. You got to stay true to plan and hopefully be able to be rewarded because of it. And you just got to out-rotate them. You got to do your thing. You're only down 2K, so it's not the end of the world, but it's still going to be something that we're going to have to watch out for. Bot lane is top lane again, and Cho'Gath is bot lane again. Guardian Gaming doing a really good job this time around with lane management and lane positioning. They know that the dragon's going to be up in about 1 minute and 24 seconds, and they're going to be going to want that Cho'Gath either in the mid lane or in the bot lane. So they opt in to choose him bot, and because of this, we're going to get the first, not really the first turret, but the second turret going in the side of Guardian Gaming. We're going to get the Lulu trying to make a play there, trying to save the Vayne, but it's going to be ill-advised as you're facing against the Lee Sin and the Thresh. If this Q lands, then we might be able to make a play. yeah, same thing with Thresh there. Unfortunately, not going to be able to make a play, and Cho'Gath's going to be doing his push. That still doesn't change the fact of what's going to be occurring for this Dragon fight. Dragon's going to be up in about 30 seconds, and Viego is going to be showing in the top side of this match, but it doesn't really matter as you have a Cho'Gath down there, and then Tristana is going to be coming in for that rotation, and they're going to be able to get a double kill onto the Tristana. She is 6-2-2. She's going to be a monster. This Viego and her we saw as in a 2v4 scenario where they came out on top. They are rotating and being a death machine. Something definitely worth noting. But Dragon's going to be coming up. Hopefully we can see a play coming in from the side of the Dandelion Knights to make something of this. Now, Tristana is going to be able to solo this Rift Herald. Nothing major occurring over there. But what do you do for the Dandelion Knights? Are you going to give this up? You're going to give them soul point? You got to make a play. You got to do something. It's got to be some desperation play almost just to make something happen. But Cho'Gath's probably going to eat this one up. Oh, Vayne gets it. Shame. You hate to see it, Cho'Gath, but that's what happens when you misbite. Now, they are on Soul Point, and it is Ocean Soul. So if they get Ocean Soul, what does that mean into this game? Honestly, it's game over. You have a team that's going to outscale you. You have a team that's going to out-heal you. You have a team that's going to have a really good front line. I didn't like how Guardian Gaming drafted in Pro Draft here, but I do like how they came out on top and how they played this one out. And in the laning phase and their as a whole, being able to roam and their macros were phenomenal this game. So I stand corrected on how they played this one out. But it's not over until it's over. We're going to see probably the next Dragon fight's definitely going to dictate the course of this match. As if they give up yet another Dragon, then there is basically no way you can team fight as a team fight team. You know, you drafted this as a team fight team. So hopefully they can make a play before then, maybe grab a pick before everything goes down. But we will have to wait and see from there. So let's quickly talk about where the gold is distributed amongst each team. So in the top lane, you're going to see the CS numbers going in favor of the Malzahar because, you know, it is Malzahar. He is push bot. He is going to have about a 1k gold lead at this point in the game. But Viego, compared to Sejuani, big difference. Is about a 3k gold difference. And he has gotten a majority of the kills for his team. So a lot of the gold is sitting on him. And then if we look in the mid lane, we see, again, Tristana getting a bunch of kills, getting about a 2k, 3k gold difference, and hopefully they can make something of that. But as we talk, there is a little bit of a skirmish. The all-in trying to get that Lee Sin going down, or that Viego rather, but it's not going to be happening as they'll just back off. There's if you have a kill potential there and you aren't able to kill them, I don't know what you can do. Like you have to make that play. The Malzahar had him underneath his own your turret, and with members around him, you'd want to see Viego dead, but he just walked away. He didn't even use a summoner. Oh, maybe he used flash. Yeah, he did use flash, so I stand corrected. But you got to make something happen here. You got to do something because you're bleeding out, and there's no really comeback potential in the late stage of this game. There's no major scaling difference. Cho'Gath's just going to keep getting bigger. Bane's just going to keep getting stronger. Tristana is also a late game menace, so you need to make those plays work. But as we were talking again, if we go down in the bot lane, you see that the Caitlyn actually pulling ahead for her team, getting that 2k gold difference is going to be really helpful for them. She's going to be one of the saving graces of this team. I don't know what she's going to be able to do against the Cho'Gath though, or the Viego that can just one-shot her. But she is arguably doing the best for her team right now. Now, probably typical jungle clears. The next fights are, like I said, will dictate this match. As we have Baron just spawning up, and we have Ocean Soul potential for Guardian Gaming in about 1 minute. So, there's no way you want to give up Soul, but the power is definitely in Guardian Gaming's hands. If you see them on Dragon and you don't need Soul, then you could just walk to Baron and take Baron. That's equally as fine. But you're in such a strong power position that you even will win the team fight against this team fight comp. So, let's see what they do with this. I'm going to back up the camera just a little bit so we can get a better view of everything. All right, so we have the Caitlyn setting up traps. They had to engage onto the Viego. This is exactly what they need, but the lockdown and the Lulu is going to be able to heal up the Viego. Viego is fallen. There goes the Lee Sin. Here comes Shogath in the backline. He's going to be trying to do what he can, but he's going to be poked out, choked out by the Malzahar, by the Caitlyn, and by the Thresh. They're going to be looking for more. They do grab another pick there. Thresh missing his Q, but he does go in and flash ulti. But is it going to be enough? And Caitlyn doing massive damage, getting the shutdown from the Ignite proc onto the Malzahar. Now is Caitlyn going to be able to do something from that? That is exactly what you need if you are on the side of the Dandelion Knights. They got the pick on Viego in the early. They lost their smite. Then the Cho'Gath tries to go in, but is getting chased out by 3 other people. So, now, different game. You know, I didn't believe, you know, I wasn't sure that they were going to win a team fight, but they played that phenomenally, and they were able to make it happen, as I was saying before, with that Malzahar lockdown. That's exactly what you need to do in almost in every of these situations. I want to see more of this. I want to see them do this again and again and again, and we might even see them contest even further. But if you take too long to do this, the clock is ticking. It's a ticking time bomb, and that ticking time bomb is Vayne and Cho'Gath. Viego scales pretty well, but not as good as those 2 champions. And then Tristana also being another major ticking time bomb. You're going to have to make these plays, and you're going to have to do it fast. If you can make that happen, make another team fight happen, and choke them out doing the exact same thing as you just did, maybe, but you're going to need to do a little bit more as you're still down in the gold. So we do see a potential pick in the mid lane there. The Lee Sin Q going out. The Sejuani ulti going down. The Lee Sin's going to be able to get out of that one. The Thresh hook does land, and they get a double kill. That has to be your Baron. That is your Baron call. But you still have to be wary of where this Cho'Gath is and where this Viego is. The Cho'Gath was just shown in the bot side of this map. This is your moment to do something big here. Now, they're going to take off this Baron. I don't think they're going to go for the steal, and they're going to actually opt in to try and get some turrets. Tristana should be able to get that tier 2, and Cho'Gath should be able to get that tier 2. So that's going to be gold in their pockets in preparation of Baron. So, you got what you wanted, Guardian Gaming. Now you're going to need to go back, because those Baron buff team fight potential from the Dandelion Knights is going to be your demise if you stay. Now, I want them to do it again. I want them to keep running as a 5-man death squad, and I want them to do it again. Do it until it gets old, you know? Like, do it until, like, you can't anymore. And because Malzahar is a really good like a great pusher here, he should be able to hopefully get some of these towers, as they are in desperate need of extra gold in their pocket. They have lowered the gold differential to about 1k, so the match is still relatively close, but Dragon's not going to happen for another 2 minutes. I don't think they might have Baron buff still, but I'm not too sure. So, yeah, pick this one up. But here comes Viego. Just to scare them away, you got to make... You can't let them just not do anything with this, right? You got to have like some split push potential. So Lee Sin, a side lane or something needs to go into the side lane, preferably, hopefully Malzahar, because he can push really well. But right as we see Lee Sin's going to be our side laner for this match. Now, why is that? It's probably because of his dueling potential and his ability to, if he in a 1v1 scenario, be able to outduel and out escape anyone on the side of Guardian Gaming. Very quiet. The storm is about to occur as dragon spawning in almost 1 minute. Will the Dandelion Knights come out on top? We'll have to wait and find out. Here's Lee Sin. He's getting it all in from the Tristana. That's not going to be good for him. He's going to have to try and hopefully take the kill. And he does. Massive damage coming out from the Lee Sin. Getting that Q, getting that Ignite off. And he actually does the 1v1 swap with the Tristana. So that is exactly what I was saying before. That's what we want to see from our side lane Lee Sin. And that is why you put him in the side lane. Now, Dragon 30 seconds. Everyone needs to respawn, and everyone needs to go to it right now, because at any point, if they give up soul, it is going to be the nail in the coffin. You know, they're winning fight after fight after fight, but the game is still in the favor of Guardian Gaming because they have the soul potential. Now, that being said, what are they going to do with this? How are they going to play this out? They have to play it super smart. That Cho'Gath has to play that center, like I was saying before, nearly perfectly. If he does not play center perfectly, it's going to be super hard for them. But they are going to try and chunk this out. But here comes the Cho'Gath. They do get the dragon. The steal is occurring. And it did not work for Guardian Gaming as they tried but failed. And the Caitlyn actually grabbing up dragon there. So that's good on them. There was still a rough 50. Like, there's no way you should be 50-50ing that, but they made it work. They made it play. They made it do what they had to do to get that dragon, and they got a kill on Viego as well. The gold lead is now in favor of the Dandelion Knights. This is something I did not expect to occur from the first stage of this match. This is not something I was going to predict would happen, especially after seeing what happened to them in the early stages, being the mid and being the jungle, doing their work out there. But they do get the kill on Lee Sin as he does do an overextension. The Lulu was beside them, but now this is going to be the play for the Guardian Gaming squad. Here they go. The Nom Noms go out for the Cho'Gath. He does get the kill, but it goes over to the side of Vayne. Vayne's looking for more. Hopefully she can find a condemn onto someone. The Cho'Gath gets the knock up, and the Thresh is going to fall as well. The Vayne's looking for more blood, but here comes Vayne, and she is going to be taken out by the Caitlyn. The Malzahar is running so low. Here comes more. The Cho'Gath scream coming out is going to be able to take that one up, and a lot of shutdown gold for Guardian Gaming. They are going to have minions very shortly. They should be able to grab up this inhibitor with Tristana for sure. I feel like it's a caster's curse, because I was just saying how the gold is going in favor, you know, of the Dandelion Knights, and then immediately that happened. So that one's a little bit of a roughie. We do have Baron coming up in 1 minute. Everyone on the side of Dandelion Knights will be up and will be ready to fight here. We probably want to see a reset from the Caitlyn. No, she should be fine. She's only sitting on about 400 gold in pocket, so no major items she can grab. Maybe you might want to pick up an elixir, just because this next fight could be really huge for your team, especially for Baron. But who knows? Might not be the end of the world, but it would be something that you could definitely secure and use to your advantage with an elixir. So now what's going to occur here? Well, you're going to want to pick the perfect pick for the Dandelion Knights if you're on their side. If you're on the side of Guardian Gaming, you're going to want Cho'Gath to do that perfect center maneuver. And as soon as he goes too far ahead, he has to move back. He has to literally sit in the center so they cannot engage on their backline. But the Baron's being started up immediately. Here comes Thresh. He's going to be able to getting that lockdown. The CC potential coming out from the Thresh, from the Lee Sin, from the Malzahar. They're going to be able to take that Viego out. That is not what you want to see, but now it's just Cho'Gath. Cho'Gath does have noms. He is going to be able to hopefully fight them off. He's trying to stall them as much as you can. Here comes the re-engage from the Sejuani. The Cho'Gath doing what he can, but his Buzz fall now. The dominoes will occur, as well as you cannot stop the sheer power from the Caitlyn, from the Sejuani, and they are going to be looking for more. Sejuani does fall there, unfortunately, but you still have the numbers. You still might be able to take this Baron, but it's a 50-50, so do you want to risk it? Yes. Yes, they do. And they're going to be re-engaging onto Baron. Do they have the tankiness? The Lee Sin just back. He's going to be taking off those minions that were going to be crashing onto the base there. But do they have the speed to stop this? I don't think they do, because Viego, Vayne, and Lulu are coming back with a vengeance. We'll see, but I begin to wonder. All right, I stand wrong. I stand corrected. They were perfectly fine. Nothing to worry about here. Now leave. Leave. And immediately go to Dragon, because there's another major fight that's going to occur. They're going to have the additional 30 AP and an additional 30 AD, what comes with Baron. So that's going to be really nice for them. It's not going to be a major split pushing a thing to occur here. This Baron is going to be typically used just for this team fight. So, will they be able to find out where Guardian Gaming's hiding? But like I said, Cho'Gath, you gotta be perfect, my guy. This is your game. You can't mess up. Here comes the engage from the Viego going on to the Thresh. They're going to be looking for more. They do grab the Thresh. He's going to be turning into Thresh. Hopefully they can land another hook, but down goes the Caitlyn. This is going to be so bad for the side of the Dandelion Knights. The Noms going out for Infinite Blades falling down. That is not what you need. Now Dragon's going to be spawning in about 5 seconds. Your Baron that you just got is basically gone and only on 2 people. Maybe they might look to end here. Guardian Gaming does have the numbers, but they don't have the Baron buff. They need those minions coming in. They get the inhibitor minions coming. Now, is this a misplay for not taking Soul here? Who knows? But hopefully it works out in their favor, as they're going to be looking for an end game situation. That Cho'Gath is going to be doing some massive damage to the backline. The Viego and Vayne are almost taken out. The Malzahar taking out their son. I'm not sure if he intended to, but he'll keep at it. Here comes the Thresh. He does land the Q. They are going to be picking off the Cho'Gath, and oh no, you hate to see it, as they can do a re-engage. They gotta go to this Dragon. They cannot let them have Soul. The Lee Sin TPing in. They're going to be seeing if what they can do about this. I'm going to scroll out just to see if we can have a bigger team fight potential look at this. And the Dandelion Knights need to take this Dragon, and they need to take it now. They cannot let Viego steal it. Viego will try to steal it. Please pull it out. Please pull it out. Come on, pull it, pull, baby, pull. Here comes a Viego. He's over the wall. They don't know. Here goes the smite. They does go over to the side of Sejuani, and the Dandelion Knights do grab the kill on Viego. What a turn of events. You thought the game was going to be over, but the Dandelion Knights were able to stall out. They had that Baron. Now, that might have been a blunder on the side of the Guardian Gaming squad, because if they could have just easily taken that Dragon from there and then been on Soul. You know, they could have just had Soul there. No questions asked. But now, the Dandelion Knights have 3 Ocean Souls and have Soul Point as well. So, what does that mean? Scaling-wise, they are not going to fall if they get Soul. So, it could be turning into their favor if they do get it. So, it might be a win con for them. They are still in this match. They are not going to forfeit, and they will not fall to Guardian Gaming quite yet. But these next Dragon is going to be huge. We have 3 minutes until then. Baron is going to occur just before as well. So it's going to be exactly what you saw last time. If Guardian Gaming doesn't win here in between these 3 minutes, or doesn't even take Dragon, it could be the game for them. This is what I like about Freljord. Freljord is nearly perfectly balanced. Every team in week 1 went 1-1. And you can see this game, how even this game has been. This goal differential wasn't even too major of a worry for the Dandelion Knights, as they were still able to keep up in the CS margins. So, what can we see different? what can we get here? So what we had before was the pick from the Thresh that overextended. Every team fight has won because one other team has overextended just a little bit too far. So you need to be with your pack, you got to be with your squad, and you got to be on the lookout at all times. Diego just playing mind games, just putting out his E just because, no worries. Not He wasn't going to go in, but, he had the option to. Gold lead going over to the Dandelion Knights now. I said that they wouldn't win team fights, but now they've shown me time and time again throughout all of this match that team fights are going to be in their favor, as they are going to be able to take the pick and do the massive amount of burst damage from the Lee Sin and from the Caitlyn. So, they are just going to rotate bot lane. This is going to be just a waiting fest. Nothing major. Nothing big's going to occur. If something dumb happens, they'll take advantage of it, but nothing should happen within the next couple minutes. Cho'Gath going in. He's going to be centering on them, but is going to be immediately kicked. And then that just... Wait a minute. No way! That just completely takes out the Vayne as she just gets a Cho'Gath kicked to the face. That's not okay. That's not okay. What do you do? What do you do? So, that Vayne was full HP and just was immediately bopped because of a Cho'Gath kick. I don't know if I like that. I don't like that as that's an option that you can do in this game. Maybe this is why Lee Sin top's so good, is because you can kick Cho'Gath. Baron coming up. Baron is up. We do have a minute on Dragon, so if you want to make a play, you got to do it right now. But Cho'Gath overextended, and he's going to be kicked back, and then Lulu's going to be ulting him. Here comes a Viego. He's going to try and see if he can get his Thresh buddy out, his Cho'Gath friend out. The dinosaur does leave, does have to reset. The Lee Sin's going to be fronting on them, and they are not going to be able to contest this unless it is going to be a Herculean steal from the Viego, but the Lee Sin is going to be the one that stops that. The Cho'Gath is TPing back and is walking over. Are they going to be able to do something? The QSS coming out from the Viego. Here comes more. The Vayne is going to fall to the Caitlyn, and the Thresh does fall to the Viego. Cho'Gath, and they are looking for more. The Lee Sin in the backline, though, is going to be taking out the Viego, is going to be taking out the Tristana. He's coming out and looking for more. The Cho'Gath trying to be a good center, but it's not going to be enough as he's going to fall as well to the Lee Sin. There goes the Lulu. Is it going to be enough to survive? I don't believe so. No. A ace for the Dandelion Knights. That is huge for them. Is that a win con? I believe so. Are they going to try to? Absolutely. They don't need Baron. They don't need Ocean Soul. They need a W. They need to end this game now. They do not want to risk anything further. When all hope seemed lost, the Dandelion Knights persevered and came out on top this game. Really great performance by them. Are they going to be able to finish this off? Is Vayne going to be able to stop this? She does use the QSS, but is not going to be enough. And the game is over as they do take the victory. Win over to the Dandelion Knights. Very well played this game. Amazing performance. And I really like how they played it as a whole. So, what do we want to see later? I want to see the Dandelion Knights do basically exactly what they did. They won in a perfect draft in draft phase a little bit just because they had a better team comp. And I was really worried about having the Cho'Gath be a issue. The Guardian Gaming held the first half of that game, but the Dandelion Knights came back out on top. So for Guardian Gaming, I want to see maybe another more tankier person in the jungle and have a little bit more AP reliant champions that can do a little bit more damage for you so they don't just build armor and then be able to out-sustain you. But that being said, we're going to take a quick break and we'll be right back for Game 2 between Guardian Gaming versus the Dandelion Knights. Hello, Seal community. We are going to be going into game two versus the Guardian Gaming Squad versus the Dandelion Knights. I am going to be bringing to you today our caster Alpha. ATX was unable to join us tonight just due to personal reasons, so we will be swapping out a caster here. But I am so glad to introduce to Alpha. He will be coming back to us momentarily. Just waiting on draft to begin, and it has started, so I'm going to transition us over to that now. Hey, Alpha, I just started the cast. Just gonna,
Okay.
we just transitioned into our picks and bans. Did I give you the pro draft link for that? Uh,
I don't
I
know.
don't think
Maybe.
so. Let me get that for you so we can get that all organized. Ba-ba-ba-ba-da-da-da-da. But in the meantime, I know you watched the last game. So what were your takeaways on that?
So, just brief takeaways. I thought TDK drafted a really difficult composition to execute, but they did it pretty phenomenally, I'd say. They took a losing matchup in the mid lane. He is supposed to be a lane bully, but that Tristana will bully him out early, as we know the ranged melee matchup is quite annoying. But we saw as the game progressed what Lee Sin can do to Tristana in a side lane. So, yes, it was a good pick all in all. The Lee Sin played great, and I thought that they picked a really good 1-3-1 comp, and they turned it into a very good team fight comp, a composition that probably shouldn't work as well, but it did simply because the other team lacked engage, is what I felt happened. Also because of a few macro misplays on the side of Guardian Gaming. But ultimately, they, came through with what they needed to do and they got the job done. But go transitioning to draft going on now, I see the leasing got taken away, so
That's not happening
shows you how
again.
effective that was. Yeah. Just to go over a few things, I like the Vayne pickup. Udyr is a very strong jungler still. I don't care what anyone says. He will always be not always, but he is still a very strong jungler in season 11. Shen is a very dominant not dominant. He's a very good side laner, and he is dominant across the map, is what I meant to say.
Mhm.
Caitlyn, an all right pickup. I personally don't think Caitlyn's all that strong, but people think otherwise. I like the Malphite as an engage. Is that a real Malphite?
I think
I think
so.
so. Malphite jungle, I believe.
I was I didn't know what was gonna happen last game with the vein, So but this just happens. It's just
Well, that Vayne's gonna be feel really nice into that Shen Malphite. Two tanks to shred.
Mhm.
Vayne's also gonna feel really nice alongside that Braum. Udyr is a nice little bit of a engage with the Kennen, I guess. Not no really strong like hard engage, I'd say. I guess besides Kennen ult. Fiddlesticks is that's another bit of hard engage along with Malphite. That sounds like a really broken what?
Oh.
What? I'm so
Maybe
confused.
I'm thinking it's gonna be a Malphite support here. Wait a minute, but there's a jinx.
Wait,
Wait a
there's a
minute.
thing. I'm so
Wait a
my brain.
mm,
Wait, is it Shen
mm,
jungle?
maybe? Maybe Malphite
Shen
jungle.
jungle, Malphite top,
Malphite jungle.
Veigar. No, I know Malphite jungle's a thing too. So either of those two jungle. Is it a double AD carry bot lane? Maybe Veigar support, Caitlyn mid? I don't know. This doesn't make sense.
Hmm.
I'm so confused. My brain is bursting as we speak.
Why does TDK do to this to me in draft phase?
Freljord, why are we doing this? Like, why are you bursting our brains? My gold brain cannot take this double AD carry comp you guys are trying to run right now. What is this? You guys scale phenomenally, I will say. If this game goes late,
Mhm.
you should be Guardian Gaming, in theory, unless Silas gets on top of your carries. But you do have the front line to prevent that from happening. On the side of Guardian Gaming, you have a Vayne, who should, in theory, shred the tanks. The problem is, who's going to deal with the 280 carries that you have to deal with, and the Veigar burst? You don't really have a true tank other than, I guess, Braum, but he's a support, so he's always going to be like 6k gold behind.
Mhm.
So it's going to be interesting to see how this plays out. TDK has scaling advantage, Guardian Gaming has pick potential, and that's what I see this as.
Yeah, I mean, if I'm not sure what I'd like to see, like in personal beliefs, I think that Guardian Gaming or like have just the a better team comp in my opinion, just as
Well,
they have
yes.
lockdown potential from the Kennen. They have the clear from the Udyr, and the Silas and Vayne Braum bot lane are going to be really, really good for them. But TDK can pull out something pretty cheesy. I learned from last game to never doubt them because
Yeah.
I doubted them last game. I said, I don't know, guys. I don't think this is gonna work, But they made it work.
They
So
showed great mechanical prowess last game.
yeah, I
So,
I want to see the same thing this game, but it's so hard. It's so hard to believe in them when they do this to me.
I mean, they chose losing lanes last game and still managed to win mid to late. So, I mean, you never know with TDK. They're maybe are they going to be the first Freljord team to go 2-0?
Maybe we we can only imagine
Let's see. Okay,
such
so it's
great
a Malphite top
prowess.
Shen jungle. That's the way this is going,
Okay,
I think.
you,
Hopefully. I mean, the
hopefully.
Malphite into the Kennen should be fine actually. It's probably a better matchup than the Shen, so he doesn't need to get close.
Yeah, well, I'm gonna actually transition this into so people can see what we see on our live screen here. So Jinx mid,
Oh my
Jinx
god,
mid.
no. This is
Is this
weird.
full
It's
lethality least Jinx mid? Is that what this is? Is the W's
maybe.
gonna hit you like a semi?
But the problem is like they drafted Caitlyn as well.
Hmm.
No. I thought they were the team with Vayne. I'm like, maybe Vayne mid? No, that doesn't really. Huh. But there was no Lucian ban. Why didn't we just pick Lucian, guys?
Style
Why?
points.
Ah, yes.
Yeah.
We picked the 180C in the game with no mobility. Let's go. And now we have to versus
Let's
Silas.
do it.
Silas has amazing ults to steal too in this game.
Yeah, I would be so happy if I was Silas. Like, just everything on their team makes me happy if I was Silas.
Veigar ult, Jinx ult, Malphite ult specifically.
Even Shenult is nice.
True. I mean, true. But yeah, TDK, I have faith in you. Don't let me down. No, I'm just kidding. I'm honestly so I don't know how late in the game this has to go for TDK's comp to actually effectively work because you need to make sure that your Caitlyn, Veigar, or Jinx are all in a very strong spot. This is very reliant on all those three champions, and then Malphite and Shen just have to kind of sit there and take the damage and die for you.
Mhm.
Meanwhile, the side of Guardian Gaming, they're cool with just going in on you and just fighting you until they get outscaled ultimately. Because I do feel they will get outscaled eventually, but it's just a matter of who plays the fights better as this game progresses. Guardian Gaming will win earlier. It's just a matter of if TDK can hold off to the point where Jinx and Caitlyn and Veigar can start doing more damage than I can imagine, and that should be possible.
I want to pick at your brain here for a second. How do you think Jinx is going to build? Because in my opinion, I think it's going to be lethality Jinx, where she's just going to press W. But what do you think she's going to do this
Hmm.
match?
I honestly think she just goes normal. Jinx attack speed is always great. Think your auto attacks, your Q spam later in the game. The rocket Qs are so much better
Hmm.
as we progress in the game. I mean, I just think that the traditional ADC Jinx is better. I do like the idea of ADC's mid. I like the fact that this time they drafted a actual mage support because they did lack AP last game as well, but they drafted a Lulu, which is more of an enchanter, not really going to output much damage. Veigar this game will have that sort of damage. Guardian Gaming, of course, is a bit more spread out across the Kennen Silas, and then you have the Udyr Vayne, and then you'll have your Braum as your like more beefy front line. Yeah, I'm gonna take all the Jinx rockets, all the Caitlyn ults. Let's go. All the Veigar ults. Actually, no, those are both point and click. Hmm. Well, Veigar ults.
I mean, if
Veigar
you
ults.
press your E correctly, it's still going to negate the first. So if you do it right, you might still stop the Veigar ulti if he's
Mm,
casting it on you. You know.
yeah. Well, yeah. If he's casting it on you, sure. But if he's casting it on someone else, it's a point and click, so it's just gonna go on them. It's not like Caitlyn ult where you can block it.
Yeah.
But yeah. No. If I'm the side of TDK, I'm liking my engage. It's just, do I have follow up on that engage? And I'm assuming they're gonna do a sort of fight where they keep Shen back to protect the squishies while the Malphite engages, and they'll slowly push up with the Shen, and the Shen will just be playing back and using taunt defensively. typically I see that happen in Malphite compositions where he'll stay back, have a jungler engage or supporting it like a Nautilus engage, and the Malphite will stay back with the squishies and have a secondary engage. So it's kind of interesting to see a composition where the Malphite is the main engage because I like to play Malphite as to protect the squishies, and then I go back in whenever I have a better chance to go in, right?
Hmm.
Because I was playing a lot of Malphite Leona, so the Leona would go in, and I'm like, okay. Then I would ult on top of them after the Leona went in, get a 5-man ult to allow the Leona to stun, and then I have a Samira who has a S rank combo
Oh
and just
yeah.
kills all of them because they're stunned and they have no chance of knocking her up. So that's why we did it the way we did. It's
Yeah.
like, yay, this works. So,
it just works, you know.
yeah, just like all things should be. It just
Ye-
works. It was simple, easy to execute to the point, and we won that game. But
Mhm.
it will be interesting to see as we get into this game in 15 seconds or a little longer who will win this game because this is going to be a very, very interesting game as we slowly jump the game.
Yeah, we're gonna make our slow ascend into
Ah, yes.
this, but
Into Summoner's Rift.
I, I'm still worried for TDK, but
You know what?
I'm hopeful.
If they showed me one thing, is never doubt.
Hmm.
So I will never doubt you, TDK. Yeah, I mean, it's I, I'm just so at a loss with your draft. Like I'm trying to hype it up so much, but I'm like so confused. My brain, my my brain is like my macro play is like, how does this work around the map? How do you rotate the fights and win fights correctly? Early and mid, you don't typically. You shouldn't at least in
Hmm.
theory. If you can get a Silas to jump on you, the problem is
Can you get the styles
it's
to
a
jump on you?
Silas. Yeah, that's the
Yeah.
problem. Can you get the Silas to jump on you? Or the biggest thing is they have a huge range advantage, and Vayne's such a close range ADC. Does Vayne just get popped immediately? Immediately, you might just die. But you also have the idea of can we get a huge flank to allow Vayne to do a crap ton of damage, and then Silas get into the backline that way too. So Guardian Gaming has quite a few ways to work around fights. TDK kind of has one straightforward idea: Malphite, me ulti,
Rock.
Shen, me protect, Rook, yes. And then yeah, that's the one general idea you have if you're the side of TDK. Let me put my pro draft on the other screen so I can keep track of these teams.
We're gonna be going into game now. If you could pause at 10 seconds here for me, and then we can do a countdown as we
Yeah,
get in.
okay. They crap. Why is my game being slow?
Reasons.
There we go. All right, at 10.
All right, on three. One, two, three. All right, so we probably won't see anything cheeky coming out of this. I don't imagine that we will see anything happen for either side. Mm, because Shen typically doesn't want to start with taunt in the jungle. You know,
Shen went Guardian. That's interesting.
probably shows that he's going to be ganking a lot then.
Probably. I mean, I was expecting Aftershock
But he also went Ghost.
because of the time.
Ghost Smite.
I'm honestly surprised Shen didn't go Spellbook. Like, it sounds stupid, but
Why not?
like,
Why not Grasp?
honestly, no, Grasp doesn't work in the jungle. Remember, it doesn't stack off.
Mm.
So yeah, you wouldn't be able to stack Grasp. It would just be useless. So that's why you never see any junglers bring Grasp. One interesting thing to note: Caitlyn went for the safer buy of the Cole. I like that in that lane. You probably just want to wait till 6 until you can destroy the Braum vein. The Braum vein. In theory, you should, with the power of Veigar ulti alongside Caitlyn ulti. And then the Silas, of course, went his more aggressive buy with the Dark Seal early, trying to punish this Jinx mid pick.
Hmm.
But traditional starts on the side of both teams. I will say, I thought that Udyr started red, but he probably just wanted to give his top laner an advantage. Oh,
Yeah, that Vayne is doing a lot of damage, and she does get the tumble off and does get the first blood by Veigar. Just actually being too far ahead there, and gets punished because he got Brom queued, and then just kept getting auto attacked by Vayne.
okay. So I know you want to get that early push, right? You know they're gonna push into your lane, so you want to get early push. But you have a Caitlyn. She outranges them. She's gonna still be able to farm. Just you poking out with Q or even just zoning with Cage is gonna be enough for you to allow your Caitlyn to farm. So I don't understand why be so aggressive there, but you do you.
Mm-hmm.
Great first blood on the side of Guardian Gaming. That's a really good start, especially after last game. I'm sure that was a little bit tilting. So great to get back on the board and get a good early start and now have almost a 1K gold lead at 3 minutes. Not that means very much, but both junglers clearing opposite side. Shen now just getting to his bot side. Udyr clearing Raptors to buff. Probably will do a full clear into top scuttle. I don't think he'll go for a gank until after that. I'm sure he'll just reset and then go for a gank later. But I could be wrong.
I think you're pretty much going to be right on the money with that one. He might do a full clear into Scuttle, but it looks like he's actually pinging into our mid lane here, so we might see something happen.
Ooh.
Yes, we get the engage from the Sylas. He does get the knock up. He does get the stun off. He does get the Jinx flash. Udyr is there just to see if she did not flash, and Jinx is now going to be in a little bit of a pickle with that occurring.
Yeah, I will say I like the exhaust mid. I didn't notice that before. That's a really good take actually because the Silas is gonna want to get on top of you. You are gonna want to have the ability to escape. Also, just negate his damage as he goes, as the Udyr does come back mid potentially.
Yeah, we might see another gank coming off here. So here comes the Udyr. Here comes the flash stun from the Sylas there. He's going to go for the flash Udyr stun as well. And they do pick up the kill on to the Jinx. That kill is going to be rewarded to Udyr.
Feels bad, but they both wasted flash for that. Oh.
I don't think this is it, Infinite, but he's going in for it anyways. Here comes Sylas. He's going to see what they can do with that. But Shen going to be taunting away.
They rotated the bot completely up. I wouldn't say that was a mistake, but it does suck to have Caitlyn lose out a bit of XP probably because of that. As the lane is now going to be shoving back into you, which is an annoying spot to be in. But if I trust anyone to do it, it is a Caitlyn to farm under tower, as she doesn't really need to be under tower to farm. She can be a light year away. Because Caitlyn does have the most attack range in the game, at least until about 15 minutes until Senna can take over.
True.
Yeah, but if you one thing.
Oh, engage in the bot lane here. We're gonna see a dead Vigor for sure. Kill going over to the Vayne and really well executed. Well as Sylas is TPing here just as a just in case. I'm not sure if the TP was necessary, but I do like the ambition.
Yeah, no, wasn't necessary, but it was what Jinx needed. He was giving his laner a chance, is what I think that was, right?
Oh yeah.
Oh, that was a okay.
Yeah, Udyr was gonna die to that, so he had to smite it early.
Yep.
Feels bad.
Yep. Sylas should be resetting. He has no mana. Sylas, please. I mean, not that Jinx has any kill pressure on you. You were right though with the lethality Jinx. It seems like she's going tier.
Yeah.
And so that usually does build into the Manamune, and she probably will build Duskblade or something else, but it should be Duskblade if I'm Prowler's Claw Jinx.
Ooh. Maybe.
That would be terrible. Please don't.
I mean, it probably not. It's probably going to be Duskblade. Probably Duskblade. Yeah.
See, but if you were gonna go anyone mid, why not just pick the Varus? The Varus lethality I feel is so much better and more consistent as well.
I don't know. That's a good question.
Nice all in by the Kennen right here.
Yeah, so Kennen might be able to pick up this kill, and he does with the ulti, with the Q stack, and takes off the kill from the Malphite solo in the top lane. That's going to be really good for him. He's going to be loving that. He's just going to relish in that. Am I right?
Yeah, I mean, yeah, Yep. Oh
Yeah,
my
got it.
god.
Ah, there it is. He saw it.
Great job, Dragon. Well, who got that?
I
That
believe that
was
was going to
Udyr.
Udyr.
All right. So, another game where Guardian Gaming gets off to a really strong lead. But once again, we can never doubt TDK. They were down at 5K at one point and were able to come back. So this game is not over, but it is looking really rough if you're the side of TDK, as it does seem like Guardian Gaming is going to get to a point where they will not allow you to quote unquote outscale them. Correct? And
Mhm.
the Vayne has most of these kills right now. She has a bounty on her head. So I mean, if you were the side of TDK, maybe you're trying to make a play bot lane, but it doesn't seem like that. Seems like G Guardian Gaming wants to make a play bot lane.
Yeah, so here comes the
Malphite does have
TP. Here
ulti.
comes the Malphite TP. Here comes a flash from the Vayne. Coming out after that with the flash from Braum as well. So unable to pick up those kills, but a great disengage coming out from the side of Guardian Gaming.
That hurts a little bit because now your Malphite's just going to be falling even further behind than he already is. Already down 3 waves, already down a kill. Waves crashing in the turret, so the lane is going to be pushing away from him. It just feels so bad to be Malphite right now. Almost down 1,000 gold to currently 800, but
Yeah.
soon to be 1,000 gold with that plate going down very
Yeah,
shortly.
there it is.
Yep.
There's that 1,000 gold.
Yeah. So jungle is also a 500k. Wow. 500 gold deficit. Shen is falling a little bit behind as he cannot keep up clear speed, but he is doing well for once again being a Shen, and doesn't have to kill like the Udyr does. And then looking down to the mid lane's actually going in the favor of Jinx currently, which is quite funny. Silas roams up just to get the ulti. That's amazing.
He'll take those.
Oh,
Now here comes the Silas. He's going to go for an all-in
careful
with the
ulti.
ulti. Here comes the lockdown from the Kennen. The Malphite's not going to be able to move, but here comes the Shen. He's going to be TPing in. Or sorry, ulting in, rather. Is Kennen going to be able to live? He does live. Here comes the Jinx Rocket, just missing Kennen. And nothing will occur.
Shen is a god. He saved his top laner. Yay.
Yo, for sure. Oh,
Oh
taunt's
wow.
coming out and does land onto the Silas. Silas does have to flash away because
Okay, so
of
that
it.
makes Jinx life so much easier now because now Jinx is up at least 200 gold. She has a nice farm lead, crashes the wave in the turret. The wave's going to be crashing back into her,
Oh,
and now she doesn't have to.
it's no longer okay. Silas got the kill.
Okay, the gold is now even, but once again, still okay because now Jinx has 4.5 minutes of free time to where she does not have to deal with a Silas with flash. Granted, it is still Silas, so she can die at any given moment. Okay, nothing much going on down in the bot lane. But at the moment, the side of TDK, once again, feeling really bad right now if you are Malphite and if you are Malphite. That's it. You're feeling really bad if you're Malphite. Every other lane is currently losing, but still in a manageable spot to the point where you can farm it out and you can get to a point where you will be useful eventually. Even this Jinx, a lane that we probably thought was going to be terrible, is in a decent spot simply because she has no lane pressure and the Silas can roam, but this Silas roaming so much, maybe over roaming, allowing the Jinx to stay in this game and potentially be effective a lot earlier than we would have expected in a traditional lane where he stays in lane the whole time. Nice poke from the Kennen. Kennen is up 2 levels, which is an interesting thing to keep track of.
Ooh. Yeah, that
I feel
Malphite
so
taking a
bad.
lot of damage from this Kennen, really being poked out here, and Kennen's doing such a good job of doing what needs to be done. And Malphite does get the ulti off, but he thought he was going to be underneath turret, but he was mistaken. Kennen taking 2 turret shots here, and is going to have to disengage.
Oh, I feel so bad for him. That was almost too clean by the Malphite and almost allowed him to get back in this game. Kind of surprised Kennen doesn't have a bounty over his head with the not insane farm, but pretty significant farm with the 1 kill as well. But, Riot Games doesn't love the Malphite players. It's okay, though. We don't like you either.
What
Riot
feels
Games.
bad there is when Kennen was immediately ulted when he was in turret range, but turret stopped aggroing him as soon as he got ulted by the Malphite. So I feel like there's some puppeteering happening. I don't know what happened, but
Riot is against all tank players. I believe this is it. They
Hmm.
say screw the tank meta.
Yeah.
This should not exist.
They, yeah.
Uh, yeah, I mean, so Kennen is currently up 12k gold. That top lane lead is ballooning pretty well, I'd say. Oh, I thought there was I thought the Veigar was someone ganking. I was highly mistaken.
Oh, here comes the all-in, though. Here comes the ulti going out and the exhaust going out to the Veigar. He should be falling over to the Vayne. Here comes the Sylas as well. He did TP in, but it will not be able to snag up that Caitlyn.
Okay, another TP where Silas TPs for moral support, and now they just rotate the drag. All right, 2 for 2, Silas. You get 2 for 2 drags, but 0 for 2 when it comes to kills stealing. It's okay though.
And we got. I didn't even notice that Rift Herald was taken.
Me either.
I didn't even see that happen. I was too busy looking at the other lanes.
Stupid director cam.
Right.
We love the Rift Heralds in the stream. Why not show it to us? You know, we gotta give Shelly the love. But here's the question: has anyone decided what the second Rift Scuttle or Rift Herald is called? Because it can't be Shelly twice, right?
Shelly returns. You know. Yes.
But I thought it would be
Revenge of the Shelly.
What about just like what? Maybe it's a guy. It's the second. Maybe the second one is not a Shelly. Maybe it's a Brandon.
Sean.
Sean. Yes, we gotta stick to the S.
It's canon. No, Shen's going to be in a lot of danger here. Kaya gets it all in from the cannon there. He's going to be able to CC lock him down and will fall shortly after. Here comes the Jinx, trying to see if he can grab that up, but Kennon's going to take that as a solo kill. Eat that one up and go, yes, Malphite. Fear me, I've gotten even further ahead.
Oh, well, actually, he's only 100 gold up from where he was on the Malphite, so, I mean, that's fun. Malphite is going to be feeling pretty bad, because it's in about, let's say, 10 minutes, Malphite's going to have to start giving up gold to his laners and just sit there and soak XP, but give the gold to everyone else. Ooh, that is...
Shen's going to be coming in. He's going to be getting that taunt off onto the Sylas. The Jinx ulti going out and is going to be landing and securing the first kill for the Dandelion Knights.
Yep. Okay, so the one lane we expected to be super far behind is the only lane ahead on the side of the Dandelion Knights, which is great for you. I can't pronounce your name. Good job, Jinx.
It's Ysterio. Ystario, I think. Pretty sure.
Yes,
I'm sure they're gonna message me later like, no, it's like this.
Yeah. I would say Ystario.
Ystario, I think.
Well, Ariel, same word, just different pronunciation. So.
Here comes the all-in from the Braum, though, getting the double knock-up with his ulti. Here comes the Jinx Rocket going down and is going to be securing the kill for the Vayne onto the Veigar. Now, Veigar is feeling pretty upset. He's just been dying a lot, and Caitlyn's just been existing and trying her best to survive. Here comes Shen, going to see if he's going to be able to secure a safe escape for the Caitlyn, and it will happen as they do only take the life of the turret, but not the ADC.
So the Shen went Shurelius, which is is he going AP tank Shen? That would be fun. It makes his shield bigger. So
it would.
That would be quite interesting. I mean, it kind of ruins your scaling in a way. Oh,
all in from the Sylas onto the Jinx there, and the immediate rotation from Guardian Gaming is going to prevent anything further from occurring. Even if Jinx does step up there, I don't think she would have been able to kill Sylas.
Yeah, no, probably not. I would have liked to see the Jinx complete another item before finishing that Madame Renee, as she is still only 144 stacks on the actual tier. So I feel like more damage would early would be great, but you know, it is what it is. Jinx is still feeling decent in this lane. I mean, it is an annoying lane, but she is ahead by almost 40 CS. It feels bad to be every other laner, as you were also down 40 CS in almost every lane, or at least top lane, and then bot lane is ahead in CS.
Ooh, here comes the all-in from the Malphite. He should be able to take up this kill, but Kennon's going to be doing some lockdown CC and is going to be able to secure the safety. Now,
My heart hurts. Udyr's wrapping around.
yeah, he might be
Probably.
able to secure this one up here. He is
Nope.
going to be cutting off the Malphite. Malphite is going to Q and walk away, but it's not going to be fast enough to walk away from this Udyr.
Yep, he gets another
Maybe
one.
it
Steal
is.
his
Oh,
movement
okay.
speed.
Yeah, yum, yum, yum.
Yes, I mean stealing his movement speed while he's in bear stance is great because you steal like a fraction of that movement speed, and
Hmm.
you make him slower. So that's always great.
So in chat, Reese says the second scuttle crab is called the second Shelly is called Karen because it has no value.
Ah, yes. We love that.
Yeah, yeah.
Actually, we probably shouldn't condone that, but it's okay
No,
because it's perfectly fine because
it's,
it makes perfect sense.
but we gotta stick to the S's, because they're superior.
Oh my god. I mean, but what about? But Karen makes so much sense. It
the,
really does.
the Karen feels very fitting. We're
It
gonna get
does.
a fight go. We're gonna get a double knockup from the Braum. He's been on point this game with those, and we have the Malphite roaming up as well. Silas does not have an ulti to steal. It is still on cooldown, so it will not be up for this fight. But we are going to have a team fight occur for sure. And Silas is going to be using that blast cone over. He's going to see what he can find. Kennedy's going to be locking down a majority of their team. The Udi are going to be able to pick up on that Jinx there. They're going to be onto that Malphite. They are going to be on that the Vigar, and they're going to be looking for more. They do pick up the kill on to the Shen as he is left alone in the side there. And a big win for Guardian Gaming as they get onto Soul Point with that kill.
Okay, so if you're Guardian Gaming, you would kill that mid turret. You probably rotate the Rift, and then you rotate to top tower and take it with the Rift turret, Rift Herald. So yeah, you see the Udyr rotating up towards that Rift Herald. Now, you shall see this second turret of the game fall very shortly, and then you should see turret, yes, third turret of the game fall top lane very shortly. We saw the power of team fight on the side of Guardian Gaming in that fight with the Kennen ulti, just securing everybody, like just locking them down. That's all you can really ask for. Vayne did damage, and then you had the Silas get onto the back line. Like we said, the WoW champions, Kennen ulti would allow him to do,
Mm-hmm.
and we saw the side of TDK kind of just fall flat on their face because of all of the CC thrown their way, and
Rift going down there, and that's going to be and for the side of Guardian Gaming as well. So they're just being on top this game of the objective controls, and they really don't want to be giving up any more dragons. And because it's Mountain Soul, it's going to be really good for them as well.
yeah, considering they're two tanks, that's gonna feel great if you can start stacking on TDK, which honestly you probably won't. But if you were the side of Guardian Gaming, it makes your pseudo tanks now become somewhat tanky, which is always great to see if you were the side of Guardian Gaming, as you were always wanting that Udyr to be just that little bit tankier as he tries to fight front to back or even back to front. You can do both.
Mm-hmm.
Interesting thing to see. I just noticed this. The Udyr went for the Iceborne Gauntlet, so sacrificing.
Okay, all in from the Silas is going to be going on to the Vigar. The Shen is going to be able to come out on that as well. He is going to be stopped and CC locked down from the Kennen. He is going to have to heal and get out of there from the help from the Caitlyn. And another big win for Guardian Gaming as they are going to be spawning Rift Herald.
Yeah. I would say rotate that pressure of Rift Herald to Baron, but not fast enough to rotate. Okay.
Flash Silas is
Impressive
trying to
flash.
see if he can find the Jinx, but is unable to.
Yeah. All right. Moral wins. Moral wins. Silas
So
wasted flash. 5-minute cooldown. Let's go.
we had another comment says I spy for myself says just change it to Sharon. It's just Karen with an S.
Yeah, right. I was gonna say. Also, that brings me back to the idea. What's the male version of a Karen, huh? Like, what do we have for that?
Hmm. Is that Jason? Is that
I don't know.
I
Social
don't
media
know.
needs to come up with
Yes,
something.
we need to find a male equivalent to Karen's.
Quality, right?
Mm-hmm.
All right. So I would like to see someone secure that free gold up in the top lane, and hopefully find a pick somewhere and rotate that into Baron and just swiftly end this game. You know?
Mm-hmm. Now, I said I'm not I don't ever want to put all my money in because I was saying last game the Guardian Gaming's pretty much got this in the bag. I'm not sure how we can see a win con for TDK. But while I'm talking here, we're actually getting an all-in from Mystic and is going to be out 1v1 by the Vayne. They are going to be looking for more. Vayne's going to be looking for another kill there, but is going to have to get the flash out from the Caitlyn. And the Braum actually securing that with a walk-by fadeaway shot, baby. He's going to be taking up that kill into Caitlyn, and they're going to be looking for more as they secure a turret. Braum going to be ulting up and is just going to be missing the Vigar. Unfortunate for him, but they do get the turret. So, like I was saying, I don't know how TDK are going to be able to win from here, but I said that last game and they showed me up. I want to see them do it again this game, and I'm not sure what they can do in this situation. They're probably going to have to do something similar as last game, but it's going to be so much harder than last game because last game you were able to keep up E just like in the gold faction, but this game you're down almost 10k gold on Guardian Gaming.
Yeah, and honestly, it really just comes down to rotating the team and getting picks on certain key members with huge bounties. Sorry about that. I have a dog in the background. But yes, it really just comes down to rotating and getting these picks across and getting all these bounties out of the side of Guardian Gaming. So if you're TDK,
Oh,
this
danger bush, danger bush. 3-man knockup from the Silas. They're going in. They're going to be the flash Udyr engage, but here comes the re-engage from the Malphite. He's going to try and get on the back line, but it's not going to be enough as the cannon takes out that Malphite, and we are looking for more. They're looking for more blood here. This Silas is going to be trying to take out the Vayne. The Shen's going to be ulting the Vayne for an additional shield, but it is going to fall down. And Caitlyn falling, the Jinx falling, and this might be an end game situation. They may not even need the Dragon.
Wow.
What?
Of course, I can't speak because of dog. What happened?
The puppers wants to cast for us.
So it would seem. Either cast or she wants to sing.
Yeah.
Anyone got any song requests? The pups can sing it. All right. So it seems like they are not going to go for the end game as their respawn timers are back up, and we have a dragon take. God, jeez. All right.
They told you said for her to sing, for your puppers to sing. And the Jinx is not going to be able to secure that dragon as Udyr is going to take that away with the smite there. And that is going to be Soul for Guardian Gaming. It is going to be a 12k gold difference for Guardian Gaming. And the level difference is also a huge number in almost every single lane. I don't know. I think that the Soul is going to be the nail in the coffin for me. I don't know how TDK are going to be able to pull up. I don't know how they are going to be able to make a team fight occur where they come out on top because the Vayne's been able to 1v1 a lot of their solo laners as well, and they're looking on to the Malphite, and Vayne is going to condemn him to a wall. Yep. They are going to turret dive him, and they are going to take out the Malphite as well.
Okay, in theory, that should be Baron, but it doesn't look like they're going to. It looks like they're going to try to get that top turret that I've been begging them to get for the last 5 minutes.
Don't worry, they're doing this for you.
Now Baron should be, Baron should be a take now. That's just what? Okay.
Sorry, nice. Braum. You're not welcome.
Very greedy.
Yeah. And so they're taking Baron here, and I don't imagine this game's going to go on too much longer. I feel like Vayne and Silas and Braum and Udyr are just going to walk it down mid. They're going to see what they can do. They're probably going to find a kill, and then end through that. And they have Kennen in a side lane just doing top lane, side lane pusher stuff. So
yeah, and I really want to, I want to know what was the thinking behind the, I know this game isn't over yet, but I want to know the thinking behind the double ADC and why Jinx specifically over someone like the Varus or the Lucian.
Probably just a comfort pick, to be fair.
Maybe, but I don't know. Maybe I don't know. I think the Jinx, maybe it's something they've practiced, but I still feel like if you wanted to play a lethality ADC mid, Varus is probably the better pick. If you just wanted to play AD carry mid in general, you might as well have just picked the Lucian. It's just so strong. But into the composition you have, why not pick something like an Orianna or something? You have a really good ball delivery system in the Malphite, so I'm not sure.
And now they're going to be looking for more. They're going to be looking for that inhibitor. They're going to be getting that top turret. They're going to get all 3 inhibitors, and then they're probably going to be looking for a team fight right around here. Now, what do we want to see from TDK? We want to see them all run into Fountain. And we get a 3-man knockout from the Silas. He does go golden as he is going to be stopped the Malphite's going to be going in for another counter engage, but it's not going to be enough as they're going to be taking out the Vigor. They are going to be taking out the Malphite, and the Vayne's going to be going onto the Fountain, but it's not going to be enough as they're going to be keep attacking, keep going, keep fighting. And then Vayne's going to get taunted up, is going to fall down, get shutting down over to the Caitlyn. Is it going to be enough for them to stop the numerous amount of minions that are in their base right now? And I don't believe it is. The base is going to be falling. Please hit the Nexus. Don't let this go any further. And they are going to be picking this up. TP coming in from the Kennen, and they are going to try and get some CC lockdown. They are going to take out the Caitlyn for the final kill of the game. And Freljord stays even, baby. 1-1.
Yeah, the division where I don't know, the division where everything goes, basically. Yeah. So MVP's Aces.
Yeah, let's do it.
All right, so I'd say MVP, quite hard to give out, but I'm gonna give it to the Vayne simply because she kind of was everywhere, did everything she needed to do. But I gotta give credit to where credit's due as well. I'm gonna say Kennen. I'm just gonna give a co MVP because Kennen had some pretty nice engages, especially around dragon fights. We saw Kennen do a lot for his team, allows Silas to be effective in fights as well. So if anything, scratch that. I'll give it to Kennen since he did do a lot in fights specifically. Vayne was a more dominant like side laner. Kennen was a more dominant team fighter. We'll put it that way. And
Mhm.
then for the side ace TDK Caitlyn, you were probably the only lane on your team that was up for a decent amount of the game, at least CS wise. You were able to do something, even in a lane that seemed doomed from the start with your Veigar going down level 1. So, yeah, I mean, Caitlyn, great job. Good job on the first game, TDK. Phenomenal job on the second game, Guardian Gaming. Great way to bounce back from a game that you potentially could have won last game, and I understand that could have been tilting, but great job once again coming out with the win in the second round game around.
Mhm. I completely agree, and with both of those picks actually. And when we come back, we have another Freljord match coming your way. There, I believe it is going to be against Inkjet versus ERBS Pros. So we've seen these guys in the past. First time seeing Inkjet for me, and I'm super excited to see what they have to offer. And let's see if we get another 1-1 to keep the Freljord division perfectly balanced.
Ah, yes.